Every human being is a born winner. It may be a cliche statement for you, right? But the fact is that we all are winners to the end of our life. Each and every day, we complete our day as a winner. We need to be competent. That's how the world is. Otherwise, we won't be able to sustain. So, we also need to evolve according to a situation. I'm from an industry which is similar to that. I'm a motoring journalist. And I've seen this industry evolving ever since the first automobile has been rolled out. You know, in 1886, when Carl Benz rolled out his first car, it was a very lazy, very small engine, very less powered vehicle. Now, you know, the cars are with thousands of BHPs, quick enough as a light, like 0 to 100 in less than 2 seconds. These are how the cars are right now. It has evolved. It has evolved than what we expected. And it is again evolving. It's the most evolving stage now. It's going into a different kind of heart and structure. You know, it was IC engines earlier, the internal combustion engines. Now it is going into electrification. We don't have engines anymore. And we also are not controlling the car entirely. It's now autonomous. There is internet to control the cars. And if you want to drive without your hands on the steering, it can also be possible. But there are legal limitations, which is why it's not applicable right now on the roads. But certain countries, certain states are allowed to drive autonomous without even the involvement of the drivers. But you need to have a driver in the seat. Otherwise, as per the present rule, you can't drive the vehicle. So it is actually evolving, and it's evolving to some uncertain future, which we don't know. You know, the fuels are changed. We had fossil fuels like the petrols, diesels. Now we have electric, and the future is said to be fuel cell, maybe hydrogen, or maybe anything else. And there are technologies even where you can use the air to compress and ride your vehicle. But it's not come into the existence because of various reasons. But I'm not talking anything political here. But what I'm going to say is that this is how the human being is also to be. I've been loving automobiles ever since I know. Like I learned A4, Ambassador, maybe Aston Martin or B for Benz. That's how I learned my alphabets itself. It's not like regular kid like F for Apple or B for ball. So I used to tell that automobile is in my blood because I always want to be something in automobile. And when you know, like when we are in schools, when our teachers or even the parents ask what you want to be initially, or my small age, I remember I was telling that I need to be a lorry driver. I always had the fascination for big, heavy machines. Still, I do that. That's how I recently covered something which is very unique, world exclusive, which I will come to that topic a little later. Now, you know, like when I was kid, I was to want to be a lorry driver, but later on when we had grown up, like in the pre-university age, I actually decided want to be an automotive designer. But my incompetence to convey my parents that my passion, my mind is automobile, I had to learn business and administration or maybe management in my graduation and post graduation. And being from India and from a very normal family, I had to be committed to my family business, which is construction and real estate development. I am the only one son or maybe only one child for my parents. So that commitment also led me to business after my studies. But during my before my post graduation, actually, I was a bit worried about that I can't actually pursue anything on my career or maybe my passion. So that's how I decided, or maybe I was fascinated to write something on automobile, like freelancing. Initially, I was contributing to a local daily, and it was going well. Like twice a week, I used to contribute. And later on, I started writing my own blog in name of Hanmust, Hanmust. That's how my even my nickname and pen name is called Hanmust. So that's how I started contributing to my passion on my free time. Then later on, like I started giving my content to some magazines, and I also started to contribute to some other forums, and I was happy with what I'm doing. At least I could pursue something on my passion. But later on, I got an opportunity from a family friend of ours to do a TV show on automobiles, like on an auto show. But was a very normal student. Like I was very average, even in my studies and even my extracurricular activities. I never had faced camera. I never had an opportunity to do any public speaking, or not even had been skilled enough to do any kind of extracurricular activity like act or singing or anything. But when this opportunity came, initially I was actually rejecting that offer to go into a TV show. I was quite happy with writing, but my friend, or maybe he was my uncle's friend earlier, but now we are very good friends, Prashant Pranavam. So he was intending me to do the show, and few of my friends, I can't go actually without mentioning them, like my best friends like Humayun, Najo, Shabir. These are my friends who always pushed me to do something more on my passion. So they are also saying that why can't you do a show with the kind of knowledge you acquired? Let others also know, get to know about these cars in the way you know it. So I decided to give a try, and that's how I first faced my camera. That was back in 2009. We decided to do some 8 pilot episodes for a show, I mean, for a channel actually. So we decided, we curated it, and we done. Initial, it was like, first it was like 24 retakes, and even it was not done properly. And so far, that episode has not been exposed anywhere. It's still in the box, because it was the age of tapes, so still in the box. It was not a digital age. So I was like, I was not very convinced with what I'm doing, and I decided not to do it. But later on, like on the same day after the shoot in the hotel, and Prashant actually motivated me how normally somebody who's new or rookie develop their acting, or maybe the skill on the camera. So the second day I got a bit confident, and done an episode which aired later. Later, like after completing it, we presented the channel, but that's the time when it was acquired by some other bigger channel. So that process was going on, and there was some delay in getting the confirmation. But later on, like after like 6 7 months, I was actively involved in my dad's business. I got a call from somebody called Prakash Menon. He was early in this channel which we presented, now shifted on to another channel which is called to Surya TV. And he said that that channel is looking for a auto show, and will you be interested with the same content which you proposed there? Since we haven't had any other commitment, I decided like we will give a try on Surya TV. That's how I started my first show in 2010 in March, and it went started well. And we initially had some 8 episodes in hand, and we thought we'll see how the response is. Initially, even still, my episodes are there in my old YouTube account, and I used to check it, and I know how pathetic it was. But I started like getting all my criticisms, and I actually learned from those and understood what I am going wrong, and decided to evolve from that. That's my first major evolution. Like I started to actually understand from my mistakes, and how to present, what a kind of language I had to improve, and also like the content was good, but even my presentation without smile, it's all affected the show. But the channel was good enough that they decided like, okay, we'll give you a try. After this period, you need to improve these things. I got this. I started evolving. I improved it. The show went very well, and it was a great success, and it had its own unique USB, which, because I was actually doing it my own, I didn't had any other support like camera or equipment from a channel, because I was hiring through Prashant and doing it. But I had my freedom to do the content which I want, which is why I started bringing everything which is called dream machines, which was not seen in our roads those days, because India was just evolving to a major auto hub those days. It was 10 years before those days, when there was no much of luxury sports or exciting machines on the road. So then I used to bring content from abroad, like Middle East and even from Europe. My show, this is called Flywheel, which was becoming very popular. Even though it was a regional show, it had its popularity throughout the India, where even people watched it without understanding what I'm speaking in Malayalam. And I was actually getting a lot of calls, or maybe message through those days social medias, asking me to do shows in English. And I also wanted to evolve. I wanted to evolve from a regional auto journalist to a national auto journalist. So I need to do a show in English. And that's the time I realized my English was not great. Even though I studied English, it was not a practice for us to use English in our daily life. So language was a barrier for me initially. So I decided to improve that and started practicing. Few of my good friends like Libin, Aravind, all used to really criticize me about my language and used to tell, if you are in this language, you won't be able to do anything other than Malayalam. But I took it as a challenge. I initially tried to break something called the MTI, mother tongue influence, because in India we have a lot of dialects, which dialects are matched with the local or regional language what we speak. So I wanted to break that. I tried to break it with a lot of practice. Whenever I was driving, I was acting as if I'm a German klaxon and just reviewing the car which I'm driving, whatever it is, like maybe my car or something else. I used to talk and improvise on my language skill. That's how I started okay, realizing that these are the things I need to do, and I came into a conclusion there. Like I decided to take a break from Surya TV and tried for something big, which was Asianet, one of the largest regional languages in Indian TV. And I approached them. They needed time, and that's for the time when I also was able to improvise on my skill and language. And I released my first English show in three different channels, like in South, under this same network, which was Asianet, so Star Vijay, and Suvarna, which was covering all the South region. And it was also been aired or published in the online platform called Hotstar. So this was a grand success and it was a break for me to break the barrier as a regional show into a national show. And it was quite successful. I had to thank my parents, my family, and my best friends who have been supporting me, criticizing me, telling me this is not your ball, and actually encouraging me to compete. And I did that. And that's how I started breaking that barriers and evolving to a national motoring journalist. Soon I was getting more coverage from the regional to national level. I was also getting known to other regional languages, and that popularity actually was a good big boom for me to be part of one of India's most prestigious body, which is called India Car of the Year, ICOTY. So I was actually nominated as one of the jurors and the first juror from my state. And it was like in 2 years, like 2017-18, I was part of ICOTY jury, and I was so happy and actually I was felt very honored to be part of that. And this was a time actually even the automotive industry in India also was evolving. It was updating like anything. We are getting very global products, and we also like used to travel abroad for the coverage to test the vehicles, and that also helped me out to meet people from the same industry from other countries, so that I was trying to learn and understand how they work and how they actually come out with the content. So that's how actually I started evolving on that level. Meantime, the social media was a bigger influence on the media, and same time I was also like developing my platform somehow. Like I had enough and more followers, or maybe I can call them as fans. So those support was immense, and I was getting so much of followers on social media, which is again a big recognition. Even the manufacturers and the other bodies were realizing that, and I was actually considered among the top list among in the Indian auto journalist sector, which was again a boon for me, that I was actually invited to be one of the jurors of the most prestigious auto body for any auto journalist, World Car Awards, or WCOT. So I always wanted to be there, but again I didn't expect that happened so fast in this age. And when my good friend Siddharth and Renuga Kriplani asked me that this is something in offer for you, and if you're interested, you can submit your details. We are actually proposing few journalists from India, and the body, the World Car Jury, decided that I'll be part of that jury after that, and it's been the third year, and which is actually the one of the most exciting thing to happen for me. as an auto journalist. So, what I was trying to say here is that evolving from what we are to what we want is something which will lead us to be a winner. And to be a winner here for me is something which was chasing my passion. And I had to thank Almighty for all the support for my hard work and determination to bringing up me here. Thank you so much for listening me, and thank you so much for giving me this opportunity in this great platform. Again, this was another big achievement and honor for me. Thank you so much.